I used to sleep in lip gloss and earrings so I could dream pretty dreams. Had goals smaller than the lumps on a preteen, but craved the attention to be seen. If just one person had pulled us aside or pacified and intervened, then maybe I wouldn't have had to teach myself that I was a queen, and there'd be no need to color me pretty. My mama once told me that when she was young, she would untangle her hair and thin it out with a fork. My coworkers asked, are those big afro things making a comeback? I don't understand why y'all want to wear your hair like that. See, it's not just hair. It's about more than attractiveness. There has been a whitewashing of beauty in the media. It's no coincidence that the so-called beautiful women of color look acceptably European. Our ancestors were told they weren't good enough. So now the fact that we are insecure is a generational curse, and we have developed an affinity for simulation. The spectrum of what is considered beautiful is determined by some itty-bitty chick in a big city. So photographers upgrade to the latest version of Photoshop and color me pretty. It's been written that a woman's long hair is her glory. Maybe. Unless it's kinky, matted, or knotted at the nape. But Garrett A. Morgan fixed it so our naps could hang and shake. So some say, don't sell me no black pride lies, just point me to the aisle with the no lie. You can have all that jazz about diaspora and African ethnicity. Why make it hard on myself? I know I'm black. Just color me pretty. And whether I'm light-skinned, dark-skinned, or brown paper bag passing, with natural hair dried in a house of powder from not moisturizing, or relaxed scalp full of scabs from the chemical burning, color me pretty. So I can kick it with the socially conscious or sit comfortably in the boardroom, so I don't sweat out my press and curl and my tracks don't show in the bedroom. Color me pretty. Okay, Lord, we can keep my shoes at a size 10, but could you make the rest of my body a size 3? Just don't take all my booty. Color me pretty. See, my ex dumped me for some Brazilian-looking chicken. I can't make him jealous rocking no Afro puff. See, I want to be black, but not too black. Just black enough. Color me pretty. See, all those excuses are just a mask for our inherited insecurities. But pretty is as pretty sees, so when eyes are wide shut to possibilities, pretty is all we'll ever be.
Yes, indeed. Welcome. That was Color Me Pretty. That was performed by Kamiko Farrar. And once again, you are listening to your Prosperity Insights with Joe Midas Mind Miller. Now, we have a very special guest tonight, or rather, we had a very special guest tonight. She was the CEO of JR Associates, Miss Jean Rogers. Unfortunately, Jean is ill and won't be able to join us tonight, but she has provided some awesome answers to some awesome questions, which we will get to much later in the show. So we are going to still be sharing a few insights from her to empower the entrepreneur in you by coaching Midas Mind. And yes, it is time for this week's Prosperity Insights. Joe, take it away.
Thank you, Quiet Storm. This week's Prosperity Insight is opportunity. I have the power to accomplish all things. Life has given me many opportunities. I've acted on some and released others. What makes the difference between saying yes and no, though, is simply a belief. I do believe I have what it takes. Do I believe I have what it takes? Before seizing any new opportunity, it is natural to feel a little fear. I cannot know how this adventure will end, but I know I am divinely supported. With faith, I face any fear and bravely take the leap from opportunity to action. When I say yes and decide to move forward, the universe lines up to support me. Energy wells up from within, and any cloud of confusion clears right on away. circumstances fall into place as spirit supports my soul's unfoldment. Through the power of spirit within, I make the most of life's opportunities. In action, I can see that I can take for myself when it comes to the thing, opportunity. As I grow, my prosperity consciousness is attacking that opportunity full bore. I need to look at every opportunity that's real, like that bully that was on the playground when I was in grade school. He was bigger, stronger, and sure, I was a little bit afraid of him. But that first fire off, that being able to punch him right in the throat with some action and keeping the blows coming until he didn't want no more, that's what really has to be done with every opportunity. I've got to dive in deep, no toe tapping, all the way in the water, and I've got to start swimming. And that opportunity is going to blossom for me. Time for a performance from our special guest, Jefferson Bethke, over in the bank room, where we feature a new and upcoming artist each week. Quiet Storm, over to you.
Thank you, Joe. And yes, we are over in the bank room right now, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight we have an awesome poet. His name is Jefferson Bethke. He's going to be performing Why I Hate Religion But Love Jesus. DJ, that mic is hot. Let's hit it.
What if I told you Jesus came to abolish religion? What if I told you voting Republican really wasn't his mission? What if I told you Republican doesn't automatically mean Christian, and just because you call some people blood doesn't automatically give you vision? I mean, if religion is so great, why has it started so many wars? Why did it build huge churches but fails to feed the poor? Tell single moms God doesn't love them if they've ever had a divorce, but in the Old Testament, God actually calls religious people whores. Religion might preach grace, but another thing they practice. And to ridicule God's people, they did it to John the Baptist. They can't fix their problems, and so they just mask it, not realizing religion's like spraying perfume on a casket. The problem with religion is it never gets to the core. It's just behavior modification, like a long list of chores. Like, let's dress up the outside, make it look nice and neat. But it's funny, that's what they used to do to mummies while the corpse rots underneath. Now, I ain't judging, I'm just saying, quit putting on a fake look. Because there's a problem if people only know that you're a Christian by your Facebook. I mean, in every other aspect of life, you know that logic's unworthy. It's like saying you play for the Lakers just because you bought a jersey. See, this was me too, but no one seemed to be on to me. Acting like a church kid while addicted to pornography. See, on Sunday I'd go to church, but Saturday getting faded, acting if I was simply created to just have sex and get wasted. See, I spent my whole life building this facade of neatness, but now that I know Jesus, I boast in my weakness. Because if grace is water, then the church should be an ocean. It's not a museum for good people, it's a hospital for the broken. Which means I don't have to hide my failure, I don't have to hide my sin. Because it doesn't depend on me, it depends on Him. See, because when I was God's enemy, and certainly not a fan, He looked down and said, I want that man. Which is why Jesus hated religion, and for it He called him fools. Don't you see so much better than just following some rules? Now let me clarify. I love the church, I love the Bible, and yes, I believe in sin. But if Jesus came to your church, would they actually let Him in? See, remember He was called a glutton and a drunkard by religious men. But the Son of God never supports self-righteousness, not now, not then. Now back to the point, one thing is vital to mention. How Jesus and religion are on opposite spectrums. See, one's the work of God, but one's a man-made invention. See, one is the cure, but the other's the infection. See, because religion says do. Jesus says done. Religion says slave. Jesus says son. Religion puts you in bondage, while Jesus is free. Religion makes you blind. but Jesus makes you see. And that's why religion and Jesus are two different claims. Religion is man searching for God. Christianity is God searching for man. Which is why salvation is freely mine. Is my own. Not based on my merits, but Jesus' obedience alone. Because he took the crown of thorns and the blood dripped down his face. He took what we all deserved. I guess that's why you call it grace. And while being murdered, he yelled, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do." Because when he was dangling on that cross, he was thinking of you. And he absorbed all your sin, and he buried it in the tomb, which is why I'm kneeling at the cross saying, "Come on, there's..." So for religion, no, I hate it. In fact, I literally resent it. Because when Jesus said, "It is finished," I believe he meant it.
Yeah, that was Why I Hate Religion But Love Jesus by none other than Jefferson Bethke. And, of course, we're going right to our panel. Joe, is Jefferson Bethke getting a couple of snaps or kicked out of the vault altogether?
Quiet storm, I got all snaps for the young man. I'm still in the up and down. I understand exactly what he's talking about. And again, this is one of those where I'm of the faith, but I can't stand church. But the faith itself is pure. And I think he embodies that in that piece.
Well, all right. That came in loud and clear. And Ronnie B., we have Ronnie B. in the house. Let's get his opinion on why I hate religion but love Jesus.
I like how Jefferson Bethke put everything together. And I'll say that there were words that he said and the way he said his message that many people would not agree with. And he was agreeable in the way he was being with what might have been disagreeable to others. So just really classy, savvy, and, and it's the kind of, I have to get in a plug for Old Grumpy Radio now. See, that's what you'll hear on programs that we have at Old Grumpy Radio Network that you don't hear any place. You'll hear a Jefferson Bethke. You'll hear a Joe Midas Mind Miller on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. So I'm giving them snaps.
Well, I think I understand. I'm going to give it a snap too, even though I am not religious at all and personally felt that he didn't go far enough. But Joe, or rather Jefferson, you are still getting snaps all across the board tonight. And moving forward, as I mentioned earlier, audience members, we had Miss Jean Rogers slated as our special guest tonight. We were going to be hanging out with her here in the vault, but she was gracious enough to provide us with some wisdom. That's going to be shared via Ronnie B. So let's go straight ahead and see what coaching Jean can still give us this evening. Joe, I see Joe waving a handful of cash over there.
I've got the great question.
Right ahead.
I pressed in with 3 questions for you to ask Ms. Rogers. And the first one is this. Like many entrepreneurs, I know Ms. Rogers had to shut down a business. And I wanted to know the lessons she learned from having to do that and then recoup from that experience. And one specific action that made a difference in turning that breakdown into the victory where she sits now.
Joe, I asked Ms. Rogers that question, and she looked at me long and hard. And her face brightened up, and she said, "This may not be the only time I would need to shut down a business." And we both started laughing. She said that. She said, you know what? In business and in life, you have to shut it down sometimes. And that helped her as she went on in her real estate business. The other thing is an action. And she said that was making a list of people who, she said, make a list of people who support you and contact them immediately for support. So she said that one thing she learned was that to get in, to say it this way, she started calling all the good people. And she didn't know what she was going to do, but she said, hey, I'm thinking about this. She just started calling and talking to them. And she said people started giving her what she needed to keep going.
All right. Thank you. My second question from Mrs. Rogers.
I think this is a question for Quiet Storm, isn't it?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No,
you're not sorry. You're
here,
great.
Joe. No sorry at all. But, I just want to say, Mr. Ronnie B., I get tired and frustrated at times and really just get downright angry about what's working, what's not working, and what should be working in my own life. And since you did spend a little time with Jean, please share with me what she said was her secret for getting out of the funk and doing something positive to move forward.
Well, Quiet Storm, Jean looked at me, those big old brown eyes. And at first she had that inquisitive look, and then that smile came on her face. And she said, thanking people for small and big acts of kindness. And she said that as she thanked people for their kindness, she just started feeling better. And it would get her out of the funk.
Wow, being thankful.
Gotta be rigorous. She didn't say just be She didn't say just be thankful. She said actually taking the action of thanking people.
I see. I shall remember.
Now, Ronnie B., I'm anxious. I've been trying to get at this second question even too fast. What I really want to know that this is what I can apply. If Jean was able to answer this one. My biggest challenge is getting people to come all the way in as part of a team and work with me. So I need to know the 2 actions I can take that would have me be more effective and have the powerful people join me in getting my projects done.
Joe, I spoke to Jean about this question. And you know what, Joe?
Come on with it. I'm anxious.
She looked at me with those big eyes. And but this time she started scratching her eyebrow. And she said that it is so simple. Now, Joe, listeners, you may want to write this down. She said, first off, give your team a name. And then pick wins each week. And she said the second thing was those powerful people that you want to be on your team, invite them to attend your meeting.
Oh, real nice. Real nice.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got as much of it as Joe and I definitely have. And, of course, you can replay this over and over again. But we definitely want to thank Jean through Ronnie B. for sharing her wisdom with us this evening on how we and our listeners can learn more about our projects and the businesses and services that we offer. It is time for Joe and this week's exercise for building, you guessed it, a prosperity consciousness.
Thank you, Quiet Storm. This week's exercise for building and maintaining your financial well-being is using opportunity as a tool for attraction. The intent of last week's exercise was to create relationships for prosperity by seeking wisdom from successful people. Part of the exercise was to ask people to share their secret for being prosperous and wealthy. These are the two responses that surprised me most and really opened up new possibilities for expanding my prosperity and wealth. Check them out because they are truly keys to prosperity. Surprise number one. When I asked for the insight of people that I knew had already made great progress, these are millionaires I'm talking to, I was shocked that, one, busy people would make time as long as you were asking about them. That was a surprise because I had three people make time that I thought probably would not have had time for me because they're always busy, but they made time to talk about themselves. Surprise number two, we were instructed to ask how they would implement moving forward in our own ventures. And the real shocker to me was that once you ask that question and shut up and listen, that they really find for their best possible method of getting the job you need done. And here's key right here. Inside giving you those best intended instructions is the fact that they know if they need to reach somebody that maybe you don't know, or they need to raise investment that maybe you don't have or haven't even asked for, what they're telling you is how they would do it. And suddenly, your interest in them has caused them to reciprocate an interest in your venture. That's a powerful surprise. In this week's exercise, we will use the techniques of sharing opportunities and asking for wisdom as a way to build a team. Number one, share an idea you created that is ready to manifest into an opportunity with at least 5 of the people who shared their success secret for being prosperous and wealthy. Ask this question of each person. What would I need to produce or promise to have done for you to be a member of my team and having my idea making money now? That's a big question. Number 2, share what you are getting from the exercises in such a way that at least one person each day agrees to take the assignment on with you. And number 3, invite 2 people each day to be a member of a morning prosperity group that you're building. Let them know they will participate in daily conference calls or inspiring each other in having real prosperity insights. Remember, people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. I hope you've enjoyed this week's Prosperity Insights and use the exercise to stay on the path as you build and maintain your financial well-being. Thank you for listening.
And you have been listening to Prosperity Insights with none other than yours truly, Joe Midas Mind Miller. You can contact Joe at yourprosperityinsights.com or visit him on the web at yourprosperityinsights.com.